We all have our own demons to face. One way or another. You can't escape them forever. You can run, but they will always haunt you forever. Unless you face them head on, of course. Dear Princess Peach, I have terrible news. Those evil Koopalings are spreading chaos all across Mushroom World. Yes, thank you, game. Let's rewind the cutscene. Are you gonna go away? Fine, you're not gonna go away unless I do the fucking thing. Sure. Shut the fuck up. Look at this GBA stuff, I don't know. So, Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. It's been a very long time since I've ever played this game. I'm honestly surprised I'm even here. I was wondering what I was going to be doing on my channel after Tori. I had an idea lined up, and everything that could probably go wrong did go wrong with that idea. And I can go into the story in detail for what as I play through parts of the game. But for now, like, as a result of that, I was like, okay, what do I want to do now? What am I in the mood for? And like, everything kind of aligned for this to be the answer. And so as a result, I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Let's go with this. Let's go with Mario. A classic game that I technically have beaten one time when I was a kid on NES with my oldest brother playing as well, so I was the Luigi. I don't know if that really counts as beating this game. So, choose a game, because this is a Mario Advance. Every single one of these has the original Mario Brothers in it. It's neat that he, like, switches between... Oh, now he's got a shell. He switches between Raccoon Mario and regular Mario.
Here we go.
Here we go! I've never really played this GBA version of Mario 3. The only Mario Advance that I ever had was Mario Advance 1, although I did play a little bit of Mario Advance 2, which was Super Mario World. My cousin had that game, and I remember like playing it for a brief time at one point while he was visiting, probably for like a New Year's party or something like that. So, I've played those, and of course I did GBA Yoshi's Island for the Let's Play way back when, in order to get the bonus stages that were added to that version. So this is the only Mario Advance I don't really have experience with. Ain't that funny. Select a mode. Mario. So, yeah. It's been a long time since I played this game, and before I really get into it, I've always been notoriously awful at the old classic 2D Mario games. My jam is the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I like those games. I recognize that they're kind of generic feeling, but just in terms of like play feel, that's the Mario that I like. And obviously 3D Mario I'm really down with. But old school 2D Mario just never jammed with me. It's just really difficult for me. And so, this is kind of like my personal challenge to myself, is like, let's actually prove that I can play one of these games. To myself more than anything. So, anyways, without further ado, Mario 3, everybody. I'm gonna terrible this. Here we go. That's... okay. BA. Got it. Can I run with X? Does X run? Well, the P meter's building, so I'm assuming X is allowing me to run. Okay, that's much more comfortable than holding B to run. Oh, you say just what I needed. Perfect. That is just what I needed. Alright, so I am bad at 2D Mario. It's funny, because, like, I had this idea in mind for, like, a Let's Play of, like, Mario All-Stars. Oop. Didn't think those Goombas were going to show up that quickly. I had this idea of doing, like, Mario All-Stars as a Let's Play. But that kind of didn't really shape up. I feel like Mario All-Stars is just not the kind of thing that I want to do immediately right now. So I'm just more comfortable, like, playing this. Now, why this one in particular? Honestly, it's just because I kind of felt like it, and I've learned not to, like, question my personal desires. When there's something that I feel like I want to play, then I want to play it. There was a lot leading up to this, though, actually, for me. Because, like, there's been a lot of Mario vibes lately, especially with Mario 3. Because, like, I'm kind of, like, in a way, taking that as, like, a sort of sign. Oh. Hold on. Oh. Okay, well, I'm not good at the game, so I'm not going to show everything, I guess. There are a couple of things I do know about the game, but I'll worry about those not really. So, there was like a big Summoning Salt speedrun video on Mario 3 like a couple months ago. And then there was a... And so like that kind of like got a big mood for everything. Then there was an Alpha Red Gold series of Mario 3 videos that were also inspired by the Summoning Salt video. So like that kind of also wound up being a thing, and so like there was just a lot of that. If you duck on this, you go behind the background and get a warp whistle. I'm gonna play all the stages, so I'm not gonna do that. Then after Alpha Red Gold, then there's also, currently as I'm recording this, there's a Let's Play between Luigi Jin and Proton John of Mario 3 on the NES, and it's just kind of like, there's just all these, like, all these Mario 3 things, and it's like, okay, a lot of people playing Mario 3, you know what? Kind of makes me in the mood to play it. And then there was the Mario movie. That was an enjoyable enough time that made me kind of want to play a Mario game. And so I was just like, yeah, all this stuff is going on. And then I wound up not having a thing to play after Tori. And I can get into that story in a bit. Might as well honestly do it now, I guess, because like... But yeah, like basically like, everything was kind of like leading into Mario, and so it's just like, you know what, yeah. Let's play some Mario, and I'm playing this version because it has extra levels. I don't know how to actually get to those extra levels, but might as well. Lucky! But yeah, that's why I'm playing this version. They're, like, it has e-reader levels. I don't know, like, how to actually, like, unlock them, but I'll figure that out. I think it will be fun, and it's like, to that extent, it kind of like feels like the most complete version of Mario 3 to me, in that regard. It helps that it's probably the It is the one that came out last, so that helps. So yeah. Other than that, though, it's just Mario 3. I think pretty much everybody knows this game by now. Line up. A, A. You can't press A again until the other thing's happened. I don't really know what the timing is on this, but then again, I don't think anybody really knows what the timing is on this, as far as I can tell. But yeah. Oop. So... okay. Good start. Air momentum is not what I expected. I think that was just a P meter thing more than anything else. But yeah. What was I talking about? Everything was in the Mario mood. I'm playing this version for e-reader levels. If you pee up here, you can skip the next part because there's a warp whistle up here. If you pee up there, but I don't want to do it. So what I was going to do after Tori, I had this whole plan that relied on one important thing. And that important thing is the console for the game actually working. So, I went down into my basement with the expectation that it would work. End card. What is this? Flip over. Oh, flip things. Okay. Nope. This was 20, not 10. Okay. GG. So I went down to my basement and opened and figured out to get my old PlayStation 2. No, hi. So I got my PlayStation 2 and was like, wait a second. I can't, because like my basement, that used to be where I would record all my console stuff, especially with multiplayer friends. But there's not really a setup down there, and the couch is completely full of storage. So, like, it is pretty much impossible to play any games down there anymore. So, since gaming down there isn't possible, I have long since relocated all of my consoles up to my room. Which is where I've been most of the time, and it's why most of the time I wind up needing a fan. So I can, like, actually breathe in here when it's really hot, which is, like, most of the year. So, with that in mind, I wanted to play the PS2. However, I ran into the immediate problem of it was still partially in the wall unit that I have in the basement. Which is a big, giant, like, piece of furniture with a couple of this was a mistake. Giant, big piece of furniture where, like, the TV is connected and, like, wires go all through it and whatnot. In order to just have it be, like, convenient and whatnot. Just what I needed. So some of the wires were still in that wall unit, and, like, can't really, like, disconnect them easily, because, like, they're going through the back in this giant, heavy piece of furniture. So I was like, well, shit. I have the PS2 here, but I can't get the wire out, so I'm going to need to ask for help on that. So, eventually I got my dad to get help. And as we found out, before even trying to, like, move the wall unit and, like, be able to reach behind it and get the one power cable out of the unit, we had the realization that, wait, this is not the correct wire. So half of the power unit was actually missing the wire that's required to go into it. What was in the wall unit, what was in the furniture, was something that looked similar to the correct wire that I would need to plug into the power adapter, but it was the wrong end of it. It was just wrong, basically. Oh, it's terrible. The king has been transformed. Please find the magic wand so we can change him back. Ah, no, I kind of want a king snake. I'd be fine with this. So, I needed the wire, but it was the wrong wire, so there was a problem there already, and it was like, oh, well, damn. But then it was like, okay, well, what else can I... Oh, sorry. What else can I do? And my dad eventually found a usable second half of the power adapter from our old Roomba charging dock and let me use that, and it worked, and it was like, okay, phew. So, that took like 2 hours of, like, waiting for him to be available to even help, and then figuring out it's the wrong wire, and then finding a good wire elsewhere that we could use for it. And so it was like, finally, I can get this thing to turn on and work. And only one of those words actually affected things properly, because, as it turns out, when I got the PS2 up in my room, connected it to my TV, got it turning on and all that jazz, I then ran into the next immediate problem. It was not reading discs. See, I'm very much used to Nintendo consoles, which, for all their own faults, I can still plug in my old N64 or my old GameCube around that same era, and, like, plug them in, turn them on, and just have no real problem. Maybe N64 will be a little finicky in getting it to read the cartridge, but for the most part, it's usually not that bad. And for the GameCube especially, it's like I can turn that on, plug in any mini disc, insert any mini disc I want, and, like, have no problem. So I was kind of going into the PS2 kind of expecting something along those lines. So it didn't even really occur to me the fact that, like, maybe it won't work. But it didn't, so then I went on a quest to figure out what was going on. At first I was worried that maybe it wasn't, like, maybe it just wasn't reading the discs at all. I couldn't tell. Maybe it was a disc problem, so I got a whole bunch of... Wow, that was just a cavalcade of miserable play. So, like, I couldn't get... So I did say I was gonna terrible this. It held true 10 years ago, it still holds true now. So, wasn't sure if it was just the game disc that I was trying, or if it was all discs. So, that was the next step, was trying to get a bunch of old games and stuff. So I found... Oh, it ran out. I found... Okay.
What I needed.
I found old copy of Spyro 2 that I borrowed and whatnot. I found some other PS2 games to try, and none of them worked. Couldn't get any of them to work, so at that point I was like, okay, is the PS2 spinning discs? I couldn't tell. It seemed like that was a possibility. I tried it, and didn't work. I did eventually discover, yes, it was spinning disc. So I was like, okay, so the laser's not working. So then I looked up how to clean the laser disc. I was having problems with that, but eventually found a thing that was just like, okay, I figured out where it was on the console, and was able to wipe it clean with some Windex. Why am I so garbage? Just jump out of the goddamn thing and avoid a freaking fish. Clean the disc reader. Eventually, what I wound up discovering was after I cleaned the disc, I was able to start to get it to read some things. I got it to read an old DVD. I got it to read a music CD. And I even eventually got it to read the old Spyro 2 disc from the PS1. So it's like, hell yeah. I got it to read discs again. Guess which type of disc it still couldn't read? After all that, and being able to read all the other examples I just mentioned, it still couldn't read PS2 discs. You know, the only thing that I was trying to get it to read to begin with. The only thing I wanted it to read. So... Oh, thanks. So that still being an issue, at that point I was like, well, fuck it. I want to play this game. So, I went with the next best option. I decided I was going to try to emulate the game, because I already bought the game. I had the game. There's only one thing preventing me from proceeding, and it was just the fact that the console wasn't working. So I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll see if I can emulate it. So I downloaded the good PS2 emulator, and you know what I was met with? I was met with the fact that, like, oh, you can't do this unless you have, like, PS2 BIOS or whatever. So, you need to get that from your actual PS2. And I was like, okay, how do I do that? The only way to do that, without spending even more money, was to get it to read a disc. Guess what it couldn't do? I don't think I found a star, so I'm gonna guess up here. Cool. You're another star. Okay, down here. Okay. I don't think I found an ice flower. Nope. Mushroom was up here, right? Yep. I don't think I found another mushroom. I did hit that one, though, and that one was stupid. Okay. Well, I'm working on that. So, I eventually was like, okay, fuck it, I'll download a BIOS I find online. I did that eventually, and I get it to work, and, like, I move on to,
Oh, mamma mia!
excuse me? I was jumping past that boomerang.
Just what I needed.
And then when I tried to emulate it, I was met with the curse that I have, where all emulation on my computer just runs like absolute garbage, and I have absolutely no idea why, but it's just how my computer works for everything. So, I was able to at least confirm one thing, and that's that the disc of the game that I did buy does work. So, once I get a working PS2, that will be a Let's Play that I do. But yeah, so then at that point I was like, well, every option does not work, so now I'm just left with the only other option of buy a new PS2. However, that's where my cousin comes in. Because remember, I've borrowed plenty of games from him, from the PS1 and PS2 era. I didn't know if he still had a PS2 that he cared about. He probably did, though. So I asked him, I sent him a text being like, hey, you still have a PS2? And he talked about how he didn't know for sure where it was, but he definitely had 3 PS2s at some point, and was willing to let me use one. Because he sure wasn't. So, we were gonna work that out. And there was a holiday recently enough, as well. Oh, I know where that one is. I did it! Oh, this is a level? Okay. Oh, it's the Angry Sun level. Okay. Yeah, I can barely see this. Can I get out of it? Huh. I don't understand. How does this not happen? It spawns. It drags me in. Can't run past it. I jump past it, okay.
Oh, mamma mia!
I beg to differ, game, but okay. I got chomped. Replay data. It has automatic stage replays? I can just rewatch me fail at the tornado? Okay. I was trying to figure out how to open the item menu. There it is, L button. So, there was a holiday coming up, I was gonna be at his old parents' house. At his parents' old house. I don't want to be like, oh no, they're old, like, no. Well, I mean, technically, yes, they are old, like, it's still rude, and not the point. So, what the hell was that arc, son? we were gonna be at his old house, so we went there for the party. And during the party, he was like, "Okay, let's go and see if we can find this PS2." We went to his basement, found as well as his old room, and we found plenty of old consoles. We found 2 old Xbox 360s, 2 Wii's, an N64, a Super Nintendo. We found 0 PS2s. So, he still is going to be looking to figure out where he can find them. I still don't know if I'm going to be able to get them. That's a Goomba in my face. And so, I've just had this constant saga of, I need a PS2, everything is going wrong, I can't get a PS2 no matter what I do. I would still prefer not to spend money on one if I can.
Just what I needed.
So, like, I've got this whole conundrum in that regard. GG. I don't understand why the mushroom keeps going that way, but okay. Whoa! Okay. Didn't know they were gonna be there. So, yes, in that regard, that's a boomerang in my face. So, that's why I kind of wound up in this situation of, oh, I want to play a game, but my plan did not go through. I did a high jump. What was I expecting? This is why I'm so bad at this game. Like, I don't make good split-second decisions, I think is the key thing.
Just what I needed.
I just make very bad decisions in the heat of the moment. There's something, like, hidden and secret if you go to the right over here, right? I believe so. Yeah. Frog! Is it fire, bro? Yeah! Wasn't expecting instant attack. Okay, there's a warp whistle. Apparently there's only 3 of them in the game. I'm not going to be using that one. I already skipped the other 2, but I also said where the other 2 are, so it's like not a big deal. And I think most people know where those warp whistles are nowadays anyway. Stay away from me, Chain Chomp. Ooh. Thank God for a little bit of invincibility in that regard. But yeah, that's my whole, like, PlayStation story. This is why I'm a Nintendo gamer, because I can boot up my GameCube and not run into problems. Well, that and the fact that also I just grew up with the GameCube, so, like, obviously I like it more. But yeah, I have never heard this music before. No, I'm up here. You know what? I was gonna do a rewind but... there we go, that's the button input. I want the extra lives, quite frankly. I think if I don't really want to use the rewind feature too much. I still want to feel like I'm playing the game legitimately. But I feel like rewinding just for that, just to have a couple of extra tries, that feels worthwhile. Because I don't want to get to the point where, like, I die, get a game over, and then I rewind. But, like, rewinding to just get 5 more tries, more conveniently, I feel like that's a reasonable thing to do. I don't want this to turn into a rewind fest, is the thing. Okay, the timing on that last one is very different. But yeah, I don't want to turn it into a rewind fest, but like while I have the feature, I feel like that's still makes it feel legitimate enough, is my point. Anyways, as soon as I beat this world, I'm going to end the episode. I don't know if I'm going to be doing 2 worlds per episode, or what, but... I'll do what feels right and how long things take, and right now, it's only been about 40 minutes, and I have 2 stages left. And stages in Mario 3 are pretty short, is the thing. So I'm not expecting this to take much longer than this. It's also very useful for me to get coins, because coins provide 1-ups, and I'm gonna need them. If you couldn't guess by my play in this game already. I mean, I haven't been playing terribly, but I haven't been playing great. Certainly, there is a noticeable level difference in, like, how, like, you might expect this game to be played by somebody who knows what they're doing versus me right now. Ladybug! It's terrible. The king has been transformed. Please find the magic wand so we can change him back. Again, why can't we just keep him like this? We can have a king of bugs. If Louie can do it, so can that guy. Oh god, I just realized King Louie. I wonder if that was intentional on Pikmin or not. I don't know. Pikmin 4 is coming out soon. I still don't know how to feel about that. On the one hand, oh my god, a new Pikmin game. It's been 9 years. 10 years, actually. Not counting Hey Pikmin, because after playing that game, I don't want to ever think about it again. So, like, obviously I'm very excited. Pikmin 4... Pikmin is my favorite game franchise of all time. I'm very excited. But at the same time, I look at Pikmin 4 trailer, and I'm just like, this doesn't... There's something about this that doesn't click with me yet. And I'm not really sure what it is. I know I don't really care for the dog. I don't know, it's just... It's weird. Hello. Goodbye. Don't really know which one you were. You're either Roy or Morton. Probably Morton because you were grayish. I think Roy's the pink one. I don't know how detailed the sprites are going to be in this version. I know them for their New Super Mario Brothers looks. Their modern looks, less of their classic ones. See, you look much better as a ladybug. Here is a letter from the princess. The white block contains magical powers that will enable you to defeat your enemies. Thanks for the cloud. Perfect clear. Save your progress. Will do. Alright, next time on Let's Play Super Mario Bros. 3, we're gonna go to World 3, Water World. Hooray! See you guys next time!